Ladies and gentlemen, my name is BrendenPlayz and welcome back to our Total Extreme Wrestling playthrough of TNA in 2007. Today, it is the Lockdown pay-per-view, which is one of our, I guess, big three pay-per-views that we have. It's got a above average importance on our schedule, so it certainly will draw a much bigger audience than usual. It's a much bigger pay-per-view than usual, and this time it will be headlined by our Lethal Lockdown match, which will be the Insane Asylum and Jeff Jarrett against AJ Styles, Fallen Angel, Goldberg, and Sting. So Goldberg and Biss have had their issues, and they've found some help to join him alongside in that matchup. So plenty to look forward to there. Of course, our big world title match, Jeff Hardy versus Mohammad Hassan as well. So looking forward to that one as well. And plenty more, including Chris Jericho and Christian up against Team 3D. That should be good as well. So lots of big matches here at Lockdown. Should be an exciting show. Before we get there, I will show the results of what has happened in recent times. So we did do an Impact and Explosion show. So it was actually one of our best Impacts ever. One of our best shows ever. I don't know if it is our best show. It could be possible. Let's have a look at our stats. So our best ever show was rated 96 against all odds. So recently, against all odds 96. This one got a 95, and that's pretty damn good. We start things off with Sting saving AJ Styles from a 4-on-1 beatdown. I think it was more of a 4-on... a 4-on-3, I believe. So I didn't have the title of that properly, but I think it was Goldberg, Fallen Angel, and AJ Styles getting beaten up by the Insane Asylum and Jeff Jarrett. And then Sting came out to even the odds to make it a 4-on-4 and officially be named as the final member of that team. 98 rated there. Molly Holly beat Sarah Del Rey for 71. We had Low Key beat Tanahashi for 85. Pretty good match between those two. Both did pretty well. Jay Lethal, we actually utilized Jay Lethal for once. I gave him a talk show, and I figured I would do that because his charisma and mic skills are pretty decent. So I thought, okay, what can we do with Jay Lethal? He's a guy that we really underutilized, and I felt as though this was a good way to get him involved, and maybe even down the road, we keep doing this, get him a bit of popularity. So we gave him a talk show. He hosted R-Truth, who got attacked by Matt Morgan by the end of it. Nakamura beat Rikishi as a way to get his popularity moving again. Then Vader beat up Nakamura to continue that feud. Melina did a promo on Gail Kim. Samoa Joe and Rhino had another brawl backstage. And then this match, Jeff Jarrett versus Fallen Angel, one-on-one. I thought, okay, this will be a good match. It should be a good match. It got a 99. 99. Unbelievable. Both guys were outstanding. The match was awesome. Good storyline behind it. Everything was brilliant. Absolutely amazing. And then afterwards, Jeff Hardy and Mohammad Hassan had a face-to-face confrontation where Jeff Hardy humiliated Mohammad Hassan, so got the upper hand there for 100. So overall, one of our best Impact shows in quite some time. A great way to lead into Lockdown. And probably the reason you might be thinking, why didn't you show this on the video? I didn't think it was going to be that good. I thought, okay, I'll just book a standard show. This should be okay. And then we'll do, spend more time on the pay-per-view. It actually ended up being really good. So I do apologize for that. I just didn't think it was going to be that good. But Angel and Jeff Jarrett was just amazing. That good that it carried us to a 95 rated show. We had Explosion. We had Team 3D beat Team Canada. And afterwards, we had a hype video hyping up Team 3D and Jericho Christian. Chavo beat Alex Skipper. Awesome Kong hyped up her match against Melina. And Kevin Thorne beat Kenta. And afterwards, Fallen Angel attacked Kevin Thorne. And the reason that happened is because during the Jeff Jarrett and Fallen Angel match, Kevin Thorne actually came out and distracted Fallen Angel on that occasion. So we made sure he got a bit of retribution at the end of that. So that's our couple of shows that we have had. Pretty crazy. Couple of good shows there, definitely. Look, some of our guys are really doing well. Fallen Angel starting to really get to the 80 mark. Christopher Daniels has done a terrific job, so he's really doing well. AJ Styles, I haven't looked at AJ Styles for a while, but I've only just realized he's now 82, 83, 84 popularity. Holy crap. How did that happen? So in recent times, AJ has really skyrocketed. You know, the last time I probably looked at AJ, I think he was 76. You know, and now he's 83. So that's brilliant from AJ Styles. You know, he did beat Jeff Jarrett at one point, probably to give him that big boost. But there you go. AJ Styles is excellent right now, which means that's a real possibility that AJ Styles could get a title opportunity against Mohammad Hassan. He has now got the popularity to do so. So we now have another top tier main event star on our show in AJ Styles, which of course he should be there. He is absolutely good enough to be there, and you know he deserves to be there. So yeah, we've got AJ now on that level, which is fantastic. Chris Jericho, he's there as well, 88. Christian, 87. Looks like they've dropped just a little bit in recent times, so maybe another big performance at Lockdown will help that. Not sure why they've dropped there. Goldberg about 88. Abyss in the 90s. So Abyss I think is our most popular, alongside Mohammad Hassan, who's 89 and 90 in some regions. And a quick look at Nakamura with his win over Rikishi has bumped him to 58. So Nakamura is very close to getting to that point where he's going to be valuable in this roster. We get him to 63, 64, 5. He can again challenge for that global championship, which he has won once before, so we could get him back in contention for that, which would be outstanding to get him there. So good news for Nakamura indeed. But with that being said, we need to get moving along, and we're going to book our Lockdown show for today. But we do have some mail, actually quite a lot of mail to get through. So first up, Hardcore Holly. His contract is expiring, 44 years of age. I don't think WWE are offering him another deal. He's currently got 65 popularity, so he would be a handy member of the roster as a guy who can put over the next generation coming through. But he obviously is quite old, so if you wanted to go for it, you could. But you know, we've got Rikishi in that role. Probably Rikishi's getting ready to, you know, move on. We're going to probably get rid of him. Vader only has one more appearance left before he's done. So once they're kind of done, you don't really have that veteran role, you know, putting guys over again. So maybe if you wanted to, you could put him in that role. But, you know, it's something to think about. So if you guys would like to see Hardcore Holly, let me know. If you do, great. Because WWE, I don't believe, have offered him any contracts. So he is absolutely easy to get right now. Fergal Dev, it looks like Osaka Pro is going to get him as well, which is good. You know, you want him working as many different places as you can. 55 popularity in Japan, 35 in the States. If we can keep moving that up, you know, definitely he would be valuable to bring in at some point. Shannon Moore, his contract was expiring. I have decided I'll give him 6 more months. I know we've kind of looked at Shannon Moore and thought, okay, should he go or should he stay? His stats, they are improving. They are slowly improving, absolutely. You know, mat wrestling 50 to 55, chain wrestling 66 to 69 over a year-long period. It's a small improvement. Basics 71 to 77, that's pretty good. Psychology 43 to 57. So he's definitely getting better. So it'd be a little bit unfair of us to get rid of him. I think we just need to find him something to do. And I think at this point, maybe having him and Paul London team up together might be something we can try and make work. Because I think there would be a decent little tag team there. Eric Bischoff is staying with WWE. We had a 7.86 TV rating for our Impact show. The Boogeyman, his contract is up. 42 years of age, which it was always the issue with Boogeyman. He was too old. He was 40 years old when he made his debut, or thereabouts. So he lied about his age. So if he was 30, you know, that gimmick could have gone a lot further. But too old. Good charisma. But yeah, other than that, not a lot really going for him. And he also, I think it says he's injury prone. Yeah, he's got a few, you know, a little bit prone to some injuries there, which is obviously not ideal either. And the other one was Jamal, aka Umaga. His contract is up. Now, I think I did offer him a contract, so we'll see how that goes. I gave him a 3-year deal. Not really thinking of wanting to get him, I just kind of threw a contract at him. But definitely we could take a look at him. 80 brawl, good hardcore, His chain wrestling not so great. Good basics, decent psychology, good selling. So other than really mic skills, he's quite good. He's got a good menace about him. He would absolutely be a great member of the roster, and also 69 popularity. So you're almost signing a main event guy, essentially. You're definitely getting an upper mid carder right there off the bat. So if you wanted to go for him, you definitely could. And you know, obviously Rikishi being here in the company would be good. You know, a good bonus for us and chances to sign him. I just don't know if I do want Umaga and if I would actually use him that well. But I guess it's worth throwing him a contract. And he's 34, so he's, you know, age-wise not ideal. You probably wouldn't mind him being 30, but 34 is okay. 35 plus is when you kind of think about moving them into that putting over stage, or you need to execute them as a top star around about that 35 mark. So he would be old enough, and at the point in his career, he could definitely be in that role. So if we wanted to execute on Umaga, now would be the time, and he's certainly at that point where you could. So he's really the major thing we're looking at right now. Everything else, don't really need to worry about too much. But yeah, so if you want to see Umaga, we've given him a contract. You know, I dare say WWE will fire back with something better, and we'll have to try and fight for him. But if you want to see him, let me know in the next episode. Let me know in the comments, in the next episode I can try work for him. Otherwise, we can kind of leave him. We already do have a few monster type characters. Obviously Abyss is one. You know, you got Rhino, you got Samoa Joe, so you got some heavier guys there. You know, you got Lashley is that, you know, big powerhouse. So we've got a few names that's still thereabouts that we don't probably need Umaga, but I guess Umaga would be unique in a way where he's a little bit bigger. We haven't got like a Mark Henry type guy of that size. Umaga 350 or so pounds, so he's a pretty big dude, so he might be, you know, a bit of a standout in that regard. So he would be something different for our roster, but it's just a matter of would we use him and do we really need him, and I don't know. With that being said though, we'll move on to Lockdown and we'll get ready to book this show. We've got to set our broadcasters, of course. Currently only have a pay-per-view deal right now in the States, which is a little bit frustrating. You want to have that everywhere, really, many regions as you possibly can, but not much really happening there. Our backstage rating is 100%, which is fantastic. That's exactly what you want. And I might have this held in the Southeast because it is one of our big three. We want to definitely have it in our biggest region, which is Southeast. So we possibly could draw 36,000, which is, you know, outrageous to think TNA could possibly draw that. But in this game, apparently we can, and we'll take that. So I'll go ahead, book the show, and I'll show you the results in a moment's time. Okay, so here we go, the results of Lockdown 2007. A couple of pre-show matches before we get to the main show. We had Bobby Roode beat Frankie Kazarian one-on-one, 84 rated match. Roode 84, Kazarian 83. Now that's really good considering Kazarian, in comparison to a lot of the X Division guys, has lacked. He's been around that 75 mark or so. Bobby Roode on his way up, getting close to becoming a real threat to be a singles top guy. Both guys really, really good that match. That's great positive signs for the future. Jeff Hardy had a promo against, talking about Mohammad Hassan rather. We had Alyssa Flash and Beth Phoenix one-on-one. Again, Beth Phoenix 76, Alyssa Flash 73. Wow, our knockouts really stepping it up in this one. That was a great, great performance. And here's a match that we just threw together. A-Train versus Tanahashi, 89. A-Train 90. Tanahashi 84. So I wanted A-Train to have a match, and Tanahashi wasn't doing anything, so I figured, why not? Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Great, great match, and certainly a match you could think about doing in the future. Again, really good 89. So we're going to start the show off now with a hype video hyping up the Lockdown matchup, the Lethal Lockdown match, the 4 versus 4. So here we go. I don't really expect something spectacular out of this, considering that it is a brawl style match, which won't suit some guys. And also, we've got Kevin Thorne, we've got Test, we've got Sting in there. So 3 guys who kind of lack a little bit. Let's hope they get carried by the others. Let's have a look. 85, so there you go. So Jeff Jarrett, 87, Kevin Thorne, 66, Abyss, 95, Test, 71, Fallen Angel 91, Sting 62, Goldberg 72. I forgot about him. AJ 92. So Abyss was the best. AJ and Fallen Angel carried it as well. And Team Goldberg actually got the victory. So I decided to give Goldberg the win. You think probably Abyss would get the win because he's got the most popularity, but I figured let's give Goldberg's team the win because they've all got 80 popularity across the board. And Goldberg hasn't really, I don't think Goldberg's lost a match since coming back. So we give his team the big win, and then we might set up for the rematch between Goldberg and Abyss down the line, one-on-one. So yeah, and say that's all. You know, look, they're okay, but certainly you wouldn't want them beating some of your top names just yet. AJ didn't perform to his strengths. Well, he still did pretty damn good. Same with Fallen Angel. Jericho and Cage, they had a promo hyping up their match against Team 3D later on. Rhino and Samoa Joe one-on-one, 87. That's pretty good considering where Rhino's been at. Now this was a 15-minute match. Samoa Joe got the win. Joe 90, Rhino 83. We gave Joe the win obviously because he's got a lot more popularity. We're really trying to get Joe in the top tier mark, the main event star. But Rhino, his performance has been pretty poor around the 70 mark, so for him to get 83 is excellent. Again, everybody's having a good night so far. Hassan promo on Jeff Hardy, 91. And our 5-way women's match, 77. That's pretty good. Gail Kim, 67. Awesome Kong, 63. Melina, the standout, was 76. Natalya, 69. And Rebecca Knox, 66. 5-way women's match, and Melina defends her championship, winning again her 13th title defense for the women's championship, and that of course includes our developmental matches. So good win for Melina and good match overall for the women. And afterwards we had Awesome Kong attack Melina after the match, so we might set up for Awesome Kong versus Melina next. Alex Shelley versus Chavo for the X Division Championship. Alex Shelley, he did defend. It's his 10th title defense of the X Division title. Obviously, he had to defend it every single week for a while there, so he did pretty well. 90 from Shelley, 71 from Chavo. So Chavo, fortunately, just isn't quite there yet. We tried to make this a slow build and a bit more of a technical-based match to help out Chavo and Alex Shelley play to their strengths. And I guess it probably worked a little bit, but could have been better. Low-key Paul London, this is a feud we kind of forgot about a little bit, but we decided to do the match anyways because we had some extra time on the card. And 84 rated match. Low-key 84. And Paul London actually outperforming Low-key 85. We gave Low-key the win, thinking that Low-key would, really surpass Paul London. And I'd like to get Low-key back in the title hunt, but yeah, gotta say I'm pretty shocked that Low-key was outperformed there by Paul London. And we had a hype video hyping up the tag title match, so we're going to get to that one next. I was a little worried about this one because this has the potential to go huge. This could be a real big one, and I'm not sure if our main event is going to deliver, so I'm a little hesitant, but fingers crossed this one goes well. It's a steel cage match for the tag titles of TNA. Oh, I knew it. 90 freaking 9. I mean, why wouldn't it be? You got Chris Jericho, Christian, 100 each. And then you got the Dudleys, 91 from Brother Ray, Devon, 93. So damn good. And we didn't make it the main event. I mean, why would you on paper make the tag titles the main event? Probably should have made this the opener maybe. I don't know. Man, that's a freaking good match. 99. So we've had two 99s in a week. That's crazy. So, excellent. Absolutely excellent. Jericho and Christian obviously win, so they're going to win, but now we're going to start teasing some dissension between the two a little bit, so maybe they'll start losing, maybe, in some kind of controversial way in the future. Matt Morgan versus Ron Killings for the global title. Pretty good match, though. 87. They lacked some psychology, which actually brought the match down. Probably could have been 90. Matt Morgan 93, Killings 88. And Morgan wins and defends his title for the 7th time. So good win for Matt Morgan. We can still are continuing to push him because 93 performance. His performances are so good, you'd be crazy not to. We managed to sneak this one on the card. I nearly didn't have time for it, but we got it on there. Vader versus Nakamura. Nakamura gets the quick victory. Now Vader does have creative control because he's coming from an alliance. So we couldn't bury Vader, unfortunately. We wanted to, but we couldn't. We couldn't have Nakamura dominate, so I don't know if this is really going to help Nakamura out that much. But fingers crossed it does okay. Fingers crossed it gets Nakamura a few more popularity points. So here we go, our video hyping up the main event. Look, it needs to beat 99. Now, the chances of it beating 99 are pretty damn slim. Now, 99 is incredible. But these two have had some good matches before, so I'm hoping. And Jeff Hardy's popularity is increasing. It's going pretty well. He's doing okay. He's doing better matches. At worst, I would like this to be 92. If we can get to 92, we're going to have a good pay-per-view. If we get any lower than that, if it's in the 80s, it's going to be pretty disappointing for a Lockdown. You want Lockdown to be big. So far, it's been pretty decent without being epic. Let's hope this is the match that makes it epic. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait a second. I forgot that Hassan has a special entrance, so he's hyping that up. Now, here's the match. Oh my god, 86. But here's the thing. This match had very little drama or flow to it, as nobody had the ring psychology to take control properly. Well, I looked at the ring psychology before this match, and both guys, Jeff Hardy's about 68 and Hassan about 76 or 73. So both guys' ring psychology is not so bad, but obviously not good enough to carry the match. Hassan 96, Jeff Hardy 93, overall 86. That hurts. Both guys killed it. They put out great performances, it just wasn't to be. 86 overall. Hassan celebrates afterward for just 85. So the crowd just was not into Mohammad Hassan and Jeff Hardy tonight. I guess after that big tag match, they kind of were happy. They just lost any energy that they had. So I guess with that being said, you got to go with Jericho, you got to go with Christian, and for their terrific performances. And I might give Abyss some love as well, because he carried that. He definitely carried the Lethal Lockdown match earlier on. So praise for everyone, and that's good. So yeah, disappointing main event. Overall, the pay-per-view wasn't epic. You know, it was not bad, but it could have been a lot better. You know, to get just an 88, considering you had a 99 on the card, that's frustrating. Yeah, it is. So let's take a look. Vader's done, so he's finished. WWE have offered Umaga another deal. No surprise there. How much are they offering him? They're giving a 4-year deal for 22 grand. Ours was not too far off the ballpark, 21 grand for 3 years. I'll leave that, and you guys can decide in the comments whether or not we should get Umaga, or will we really have any spots for him? I don't know if we will. I'd probably at this point rather give Matt Morgan that monster push, or Bobby Roode. I think I'd rather give those guys that spot rather than get another WWE guy in. So I'm kind of convincing myself not to go for Umaga, aren't I? 0.54 buy rate for Lockdown, and Tess thinks Nakamura is going to be a star. Well, that's good. I'm glad you think that, because he will be. Alright, let's take a look at some of the results. Popularity swings. Abyss didn't really seem to be moving despite the loss. AJ, not much of a movement there either. Alex Shelley still around in the mid-70s, which is good. Let's take a look elsewhere. Brother Ray and Brother Devon, despite losing, is still in a good spot as well. Chris Jericho, well, he's bumped up, so he's now nearly the 90s in majority of all the regions, so that's really good news. So he's doing very well. Christian is exactly the same, so both guys getting in the 90 region pretty much, so that's fantastic. So when we do this feud, there's going to be plenty there in it. That's going to be a big match for Slammiversary. Keep moving along as well. Fallen Angel might have dipped a little bit. Fallen Angel, I'm not sure. I think he's just kind of holding. Goldberg, no real change there for him despite the win. And look at Jay Lethal. Obviously, we talked about using him on the talk show earlier on. I think he's definitely gained a couple of points. He was about 48. He's now up to 49 in most regions. So that goes to show you use him in a different role. Doesn't have to always be in ring, and it can pay off. Jeff Hardy around about that 82 mark. A few regions 83. So he's going okay. Just a little bit disappointed in him in that match. This goes to show, I think at this point, I can't rely on Jeff Hardy to produce an epic performance to carry one of our big main events, and that's disappointing. You want that. So it's quite possible that AJ Styles may leapfrog Jeff Hardy and take his spot as one of our top tier baby, maybe our number 3 babyface at this point. Jeff Jarrett was good. He's still 83. Keep moving down quickly. Kevin Thorne's up to about 64, 65. That's good news for Kevin Thorne. Certainly bumping up. Matt Morgan's in the 70s. Hassan, well, there you go. Big boost for Mohammad Hassan in the 90s again, which is excellent. That's where we want him to be. And he should be there. I'm not sure why he dropped a little bit, but he definitely should be there. Paul London, he's dropped, I think. Low Key's up to 67, so that win really helped out Low Key. Big time. That's great news there. Rhino, he's at the 70s again despite losing, so this Samoa Joe feud is working out well for him. Joe, he's at 76. Let's have a quick look. Nakamura. So Nakamura, I think it was 58 or something, so that win over Vader has got him to 60. 69 in the Southeast region. Nakamura's ready. We've finally got him there. He is ready. He is ready to be in a feud with one of our stars here. So we need to try and take a look at who would be a good pick for Nakamura to go up against. And let's do it. So I'm looking forward to that one. We can finally use Nakamura. He's finally part of the roster and will be definitely a strong part of it. Last but not least, I suppose, Sting and Test. Test is doing quite well, just considering we really wanted to push him hard. It didn't really happen for him, but he's done pretty well there. So over the last couple of years, he's 50-50 booking at this point. 24 wins, 24 losses. Still has 71 popularity though, so that's good news. Definitely good news. Now, to compare Lockdown, we want to take a look at WWE's recent show. WWE recently had WrestleMania a couple of shows ago. Let's take a look at WrestleMania. They had a 94 rated show. They had it in Hawaii. If they had it anywhere else, they probably would have drawn 60,000 people. But WrestleMania, pretty good. Very good, actually. Ric Flair beat Todd Jiminy. So this guy, Todd Jiminy, basically a job guy. Ric Flair worked with him on WrestleMania. Why? Do not ask me, but he did. Maria beat Trinity. Ashley beat Jillian. The Bashams beat Chris Masters and Carlito. So not a lot of great matches going on here. Gregory Helms beat Brian Kendrick. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit beat Hardcore Holly, the Boogeyman and Rey Mysterio. So that was Undertaker's big match. At least he didn't lose at WrestleMania. I suppose that's something we can be thankful for. Did he lose at last year's WrestleMania? That's a good question. So January, you want to look at April. I don't think he was on it. No, he wasn't on last year's WrestleMania, so there you go. Not sure why, but The Undertaker, there you go. He worked a 6-man tag. WWE is really doing well. Goldust beat Matt Hardy. Booker T beat Paul Burchill. And you might be thinking, oh, this show's pretty shitty right now. Here's when it gets good. RVD beat Triple H, 96 rated. And Big Show beat Eddie Guerrero for 99. So RVD is still WWE champion, and the Big Show is the world heavyweight champion at this point. You might be thinking, yes, why is Eddie Guerrero? This is 2007. We kept Eddie Guerrero alive when we started the series, so we just pretended that never happened. So we wanted to kind of see where Eddie Guerrero's career would end up if he had not passed away. So we've got a bit of an idea. He's got 22 wins, 28 losses. Average rating of 89 though, so his match has been pretty good. And has he held a title? I don't think so. I don't think he's held a championship. No, so he hasn't held a championship in the last couple of years, so that's not good for Eddie's sake. But that's WrestleMania, so WWE had that big show. Well, it just advanced one more day before we get to our Impact show. But we're pretty much ready to wrap things up here. But look, overall, I'm a little disappointed about Lockdown. I would have hoped for something a little bit better, a little bit more. The good news here, James Storm is back. Thank goodness. Now we can do the feud we wanted to do. Christian and Jericho versus America's Most Wanted. And this is probably when we'll have the America's Most Wanted win the tag titles, and we'll start the dissension between Jericho and Christian. And James Dick, his contract is up, and we'll let WWE keep him. I think we'll be okay. So there you go. And I think, looking at this America's Most Wanted, I think we could probably have the America's Most Wanted win nearly fair and square. Give them the major win, because Jericho and Christian are Christian and Jericho are so good and so capable of gaining popularity. They can afford a loss and they'll be okay. Whereas Chris Harris and James Storm haven't really gained much popularity throughout the last year. So if you give them that major win, you'll give them the big rub, and then also you can get Jericho and Christian's popularity back elsewhere in that big feud that they're probably going to have. So we might go with that. So that'll help and give back to the tag division. Whilst you lose a big team, you'll give back to the tag division, and also have set up for that big match and big feud we're going to go with there. But we covered plenty of things, plenty to look forward to. Obviously Nakamura, big time. Let me know in the comments down below, who would you like Nakamura to face next up. I'll show you a quick few options you could have. Probably looking at someone in the mid card. So again, we'll look at our mid carders. So you got Aries, Rude, Saban, Young, Thorne, Morgan, Brown, Petey Williams. Probably not Matt Morgan yet, he's the champ, but down the line, yes. Monty Brown might not be a bad idea. He's not doing a lot. Brown could be a good opponent there, or Bobby Roode. But looking at Bobby Roode, we don't really want Roode to lose. We don't want Nakamura to lose, so you kind of want someone who can lose to Nakamura. Maybe Austin Aries would be a good shout there. Similar popularity, and you wouldn't mind if Aries took the loss there to leapfrog. So a couple of options there. Let me know who you think out of those. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for this edition of our Total Extreme Wrestling TNA playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it. Let's try and hit 100 likes, more episodes. And make sure you check out my WWE TW playthrough as well, our Road to WrestleMania. There has been a couple streams in the last week or so make sure you do check those out and follow along there. If you can't make it to a stream, the videos are always available to watch afterwards on my channel. Make sure you check out my Twitter at BrendenPlayz so you stay up to date with everything to do with BrendenPlayz so you don't miss any streams or miss any videos from me. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to see more, and I'll see you all in the next episode.